What is up, YouTubers? This is your boy, Alyx, man. Welcome to another edition of my live Raw review. This one is for August the 10th of 2015. And guys, this one will most likely be the shortest live review I do because, quite frankly, I did not like Raw tonight. I thought Raw was kind of boring and very identical to last week, almost to the point where it's kind of pointless watching the show. If that makes sense, I don't know. It just feels like WWE isn't trying right now. It kind of feels like even though we're 2 weeks away from SummerSlam, they're WrestleMania for the summer, and this show's gonna be 4 hours. By the way, 5 if you include the pre-show. So you would think they would go all out, at least for this show. And I kind of feel like they're not really even trying, which is ridiculous. I just feel like if there was any time to try, as I adjust my lighting so you can see my face, if there was any time to really try to put some interest into your product, this would have been a time to do it. So I quite frankly don't understand what they're doing right now. And I don't want to spend too much time on this Raw. So tell me down below in the comments as I let people roll in how you felt about this episode of Raw. I'm almost certain there are people or like a C plus, B, average, but good enough to at least be entertained by it. Absolutely, man, that's you. If you liked Raw, great. If you thought Raw was great, awesome. I don't think anybody thought this was one of the greatest Raws of all time. I'm going to have to put a stop right there. If you did, I'm going to need some explanation on that one. But to me, it was just boring. I'm going to give this show a D. This was a D show, especially when it comes to SummerSlam. Yes, we got some matches announced, and I appreciate that. I think let me look through really quickly. We got a tag team championship match announced. It's a fatal 4-way tag team match. So it's Lucha Dragons versus the New Day versus Los Matadores versus the Primetime Players. Cool. Fine with me. We got a Divas match. It's a 3-way elimination match. 3-way tag elimination match. It's a 9 Divas 3-way tag elimination match, which is what we kind of expected. So that match is either going to be really awesome or a clusterfuck. We'll see what happens. I'll get to my thoughts on the Divas division in a second because I set off a lot of people on Twitter with my comments about Nikki Bella. So I'll get that clear. And then we got Neville and Green Arrow. So the Red Arrow and the Green Arrow, I think it's Stephen Amell, right? Yeah, Stephen Amell, the Green Arrow, teams with Neville to fight King, Barrett, and Stardust. Personally, I would have preferred Neville versus Stardust or even Stephen Amell versus Stardust and his Green Arrow get up. I would have liked that because clearly this guy is very passionate about the wrestling business and he actually does get it. So, well, he doesn't get it. He might not get it, but he understands it. He knows. You can tell he's a fan, if that makes sense. So, other than having matches announced and then the best segment being Miz TV yet again, one of the best segments of Raw being Miz TV, this show really had nothing to it. I mean, like last week, we kicked things off with a Seth Rollins promo, and this is one of the problems with Seth Rollins as world champion. His promos are running together. People complain about Bray Wyatt's promos running together, and you know what? Bray Wyatt kind of had the same issue before he had this feud with Roman Reigns. I kind of feel like he's getting better at it now since he reformed the Wyatt family. But before his feud with Roman Reigns, I did feel like Bray Wyatt's promos were running together. And it felt like the exact same promo over and over again. Now I feel like Seth Rollins is falling into that same trap. He kind of comes out saying the exact same things. I'm a survivor. I'm not trying to always win a match legit. I'm always trying to survive because good champions survive. He brags about beating up John Cena like he did last week with that same shirt. I like the shirt, by the way. The shirt's really awesome. I'm going to have to get that shirt. But nothing's different from last week. It just felt boring until, they did the whole Cena picture, and then you had the lip flaps over it. That was kind of funny. That was different. I appreciate that. Kind of wish we did that instead. You know, we cut the first 10 minutes out and just do that. Then we got Cesaro coming out to a huge pop. The crowd loved Cesaro. I think we were in Seattle. Yes, Seattle. Daniel Bryan's home state. So Cesaro got a huge pop. And then Kevin Owens came out to, it was a good pop. It wasn't like as big as Cesaro's, but of course you had people booing Kevin Owens. He came out to a good reaction, a strong reaction. I'll say it like that. Not necessarily a big pop, but came out to a strong reaction, and they both wanted the championship shot. And then Randy Orton came out, and then he wants the championship shot. And then Orton versus Owens versus Cesaro was announced for later on. Cool. Something different, something new. But then we got Team Bad versus Team Bella. We've seen this match before, and I think last time the Bellas won too. Was it on SmackDown? Probably was on Raw. No, it was on Raw, I think. I don't remember. But, you know, first off, we had Paige and Charlotte and Becky Lynch on commentary. They are no longer the Submission Sorority. They changed their name after finding out that a porn star group, had that exact same name. Yes. Submission Sorority is a porn star group. And apparently they were doing some searches on Google and Twitter, and when they typed in Submission Sorority, that's what popped up. So a porn group got a lot of hits because of Paige, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. So they changed it to PCB. PCB. Team Paige works fine, but whatever. But they were on commentary. If you've seen any of the 6 women tag matches, you've seen this one. You know, now they're starting to kind of get a little lame. I hope and I pray that after SummerSlam we get some storyline developments going. You know, we got something going with these divas because it's fresh, it's new. Fans want to see more with them. The Divas Revolution is catching steam. So don't let it die out by giving us random matches with them every single week. You know, I'm fine with it going into SummerSlam, but eventually we got to start doing other stuff with them, if that makes sense. Because fans are now saying, okay, I feel like we're seeing the same matches over and over again. And you are. You're right. I'm just being more patient with it, knowing that hopefully, and I say hopefully, knowing that things will get better over time, if that makes sense. But Sasha Banks got nice chance. Sasha's ratchet. No, she's not. But Team Bella ends up winning when Brie pins Tamina. So there you go. But then all teams enter the ring. It was an all-out brawl. The brawl was nice. I like the brawl. That was really cool. And it was announced, like I said, it was 9 Divas, 3-way elimination tag team match at SummerSlam. So there you go. But the match itself was, you know, if you've seen the other matches, you've seen this one. We got to mix it up a little bit. The New Day fought Los Matadores. The New Day fought Los Matadores, and they beat them quickly. That's it. And then we got the announcement of the tag team match, Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship. Then we had the triple threat, actually. We had Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton versus Cesaro. I'm not going to lie, it started off kind of messy. It felt like they were trying to hit their stride, but it wasn't working. But they eventually hit it. I think the moment Owens hit that front flip over the top rope, that front flip dive, and then that point onward, there was a commercial break. So he hit that front flip. That's hard for me to say for some reason. Front flip dive over the top rope, and then commercial break. And then they came back. Then it was actually really good. Then it started really getting really, really cool. We got some cool double team spots, a double superplex. That's crazy. And then a double hangman DDT. I love when Randy Orton does that. Great back and forth. It was really good. So I'm feeling it, and I'm going, man. It would be easy for me to say. It would be really cool for Cesaro to win this match, because damn, Cesaro versus Seth Rollins at the end of the main event, and then we have Kevin Owens come out and cost him the match. My God, that was just boom. All right, off to the races with their feud at SummerSlam. That was the best choice here. But instead, Randy Orton wins. And I go, of course. Of course Randy Orton wins. Of course he wins. And of course we do Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. Did we not learn anything? Didn't I talk about this in my parody skit? And I appreciate those who watched the parody skit, by the way. And I'm happy it's getting a lot of positive feedback. Thank you very much for that. And that needs a lot more views, by the way. So please share that with your friends. Get that out to as many wrestling fans as you know. But, and it's not, I'm not even frustrated anymore. You know, initially I was like, oh, God damn it. Why are we going with Randy Orton again? But now it's like, of course you're going with Randy Orton. Of course you are. Why did I think he was going to do anybody else? Why not do Cesaro versus Seth Rollins? No, because fuck it. He's not a star like Randy Orton. So we got to do a rematch of a match that we've seen 10,000 times that nobody cares about. I'm being real. Orton versus Rollins has kind of lost his luster. Not saying it's a bad combination. Not even saying they can't have a good match. But they've done it so many times, it's overexposed to the point that it's lost its luster. So when they announced the match, I was like, I don't feel like watching the main event. And so that really hurt my interest in the show because everything was supposed to build to the main event. And honestly, it was like, I don't even care. I don't even care. I don't want to see the main event. Then we did freaking Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper. Ambrose and Luke Harper is another match I've seen like 10,000 times. They should have had, what, 10 matches by now? I think they've had about, what, maybe somewhat close to that, maybe even like 5, 6, 7. I don't even know. Too many matches. It was the exact same match they've had before, just with less weapons. Like in Extreme Rules, they use weapons. This time it was just like, okay, they're just having a match. Oh, man. It just had to involve, you know, Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns, and Luke Harper won. He beat Dean Ambrose clean. So, I don't know, man. I just kind of feel like nothing was different about this match or this Raw, period. I did like the hype promo for Brock Lesnar and Undertaker. And I might be watching that special afterwards. So we'll see what happens with that. And then we got what? Let me see what else we had here. I talked about the Divas elimination match. We had Mark Henry versus Rusev. We've seen that match before. Not just last week, but many times before last year. When Rusev was U.S. champion, he had to feud with Mark Henry. So I've seen that like, okay, I'm done seeing that. And that match ended in DQ because Lana and Summer Rae entered the ring. So the ref called off the match and Lana just beats the fuck out of Summer Rae, which is fine because if we do Summer Rae versus Lana, then that could be a good match for SummerSlam. Because apparently Dolph Ziggler is not going to be at SummerSlam. Wow, okay. All right, do Lana versus Summer Rae. I'm fine with that. But why have this match? This match is pointless. Just have a segment. Have Summer Rae go out there to give us updates on Ziggler. Or better yet, have Summer Rae go to like a hospital setting or go to like Ziggler's house and then have, oh, excuse me, not Summer Rae. Did I say Summer Rae? Sorry. But yeah, Lana is already at Ziggler's house. Have Summer Rae and Rusev go to Ziggler's house and maybe attack them. Or maybe they assault them outside the arena. Maybe Ziggler shows up with a neck brace or something like that and they just beat him up some more. I know he's filming, but God damn it, work around it. And if you're not going to involve Ziggler, just have Lana go out there, give us an update, and have freaking Summer Rae. I hit my microphone. Sorry about that. Have Summer Rae attack her. Just don't do stupid pointless segments like this that just lead to nothing. Do a better job of setting it up. Then we did Neville versus King Barrett. The match ended really quickly. Neville won. But then Stardust came out, and I like this. Stardust comes out, assaults him, and then because they've been hyping it up for a week, well, actually a month on Twitter, we meet Stephen Amell, who is Green Arrow, and Stardust sees him on the outside, gets face-to-face with him, pushes him. Freaking Stephen Amell jumps over the barricade, jumps into the ring, and tackles Stardust. And I was like, man, that was pretty cool. And that looked really well. And it looked really well. Looked well. Was done very good. But they go backstage and we see Triple H, Stephen Amell, and you know, was it Neville? Neville, right. And then Stephen's like, give me a match. I don't care if I have to sign legal contracts to take responsibility off of you. I want to fight Stardust. And I liked his energy. He made it personal. And Triple H is like, you know what? Fine. You want to go to war with him? I'm washing my hands of this. You got your match. It's King Barrett and Stardust versus Stephen Amell and Neville. And I'm like, you know what? That's a good undercard match. No issues whatsoever. I look forward to it. It should be good. So that was fine. But I'm sorry, man. That, and then when the best part of your Raw was a Miz TV segment, like I said before. Because Miz TV had the return of Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan came out to promote his book, as always, and to reassure us that he's coming back. But pretty much, Miz comes out, brings out Daniel Bryan, who gets a huge pop. He gets a massive pop. Seattle was all over him. They wouldn't let him talk. For like a good 5 minutes, we just got yes, 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 and Daniel Bryan and all that jazz. And, you know, it's like, it made me realize how much I miss Daniel Bryan and how much WWE misses Daniel Bryan. Good God! Damn it, do they miss Daniel Bryan? Badly. Badly. It's ridiculous how much they miss this guy. And I hope he comes back very soon. But, it's going good. The interaction with The Miz and Bryan was done very well. I almost kind of wish this was a SummerSlam match. Bryan versus The Miz. Bryan's first match back is against The Miz. I would have loved to have seen that. But they won't clear him. For good reason, but also, God, man, it sucks. But then Big Show comes out to please retire Chance. And he's all like, you know what? Find someone who can retire me. Then Ryback comes out. I like that. That was done very well. With a new t-shirt. And the crowd erupted for Ryback. Well, it wasn't like a big pop, but he got like a strong pop. I shouldn't say erupt. That was too big of a word for it. They gave him a strong reaction. How about that? Got into the ring, and he beats up both Miz and Big Show. And then when Big Show's out of the ring, then we see The Miz alone in there with Daniel Bryan and Ryback. And then we see the crowd chanting, feed me more, really loud, and doing the yes chant. And it's like they're both equally as strong. You can argue that the fans are feeding off of Daniel Bryan's chant and you know, transferring that over to Ryback. You can argue that's what the big deal was. But regardless, both of these guys got the strongest reactions of tonight. Yes, it was stronger than Cesaro. I'm not saying Cesaro isn't over, but it was stronger than Cesaro. Both of them. Feed Me More and Yes chants were bigger than any chant they did tonight. Jesus freaking Christ. When the best show is surrounded by returns, not even a full return from Daniel Bryan, but a full return for Ryback, that just kind of shows you where the show was. But then, let me talk about the Divas really quickly, because a lot of fans were kind of like, oh, Yo, X-Man, why are you being such a dick on Twitter about this statement? I made the statement that Nikki Bella has defending her belt, I think it, 4 pay-per-views? Not even that. Like 3? Fastlane, was it Payback? Payback, and Beast in the East. I'm missing something. No, I'm right. 3 pay-per-views this year, and then a couple of times on Raw and SmackDown. Under 10 times. Some people were telling me, well, she defended it on house shows. I don't count house shows. So this woman is about to go 300 days as Divas champion, and she's only defended that belt barely 10 times. Not even 10 times. Like, barely. Maybe it is 10 times if you count house shows, but that's not good. So I made the statement that there's not much to brag about when you have a championship that goes 300 days, but you've only defended it under, a handful of times? That's not good at all. So I made the statement that Nikki Bella is not a good champion. And people were all like, well, is AJ Lee a good champion? Is AJ Lee a good champion? And I said, you missed my point. This was never a shot at Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella is not getting the blame here. The point I am making is that the Divas Championship and how it's booked is crap. It has always been crap. If you want the honest truth, I don't think we've had a good Divas champion. Ever. Like, the best Divas champion we've had was freaking, Michelle McCool? Back when she was champion on SmackDown, like in 2009? Yeah, that's not good, guys. That's actually pretty bad. Okay? The Divas Championship means nothing. It's crap. And the fact that fans are getting upset over me for saying that Nikki Bella's not a good Divas champion. Who is a good Divas champion? AJ Lee had a long reign too. Let's be real. Her lane reign, that's what I was trying to say. Her reign was just as lame. Well, not just as lame, because honestly, Nikki's is actually worse. Her reign is just lame, very lame. But yeah, I mean, AJ's reign was pretty lame too. The thing is, AJ not only defended her belt more than Nikki, she at least gave us some memorable moments. I can't remember one memorable thing about Nikki's reign. Nothing. Nothing about her reign is going to stand out after this. So they're just doing this, and they're not even trying. They're not even trying to hide the fact that they're using Nikki to break AJ Lee's record. That's all it is. They're just using her to break AJ Lee's record for petty reasons because she's married to CM Punk. That's it. That's all they're doing. I would at least want a story, but that's asking too much. So please don't take this as a shot at Nikki Bella or the performer or Brie or just the Bella Twins, period. This is not a shot at her personally. This is a shot at the booking of the Divas division, the Divas Championship. That belt needs to go. That belt needs to go. It needs to be dropped, period. And the day Nikki loses it, and she's going to lose it at Night of Champions because that's when she surpasses 300 days. So the day she loses it, it's going to be cool. So, again, if this is a Divas Revolution, we need to do things to show the world that this is a Divas Revolution. And you know what? I might do a video on that. Don't hold my word. Don't like, oh my God, let's just say he's going to do a video on it. I might do a video on that. Depends on how I'm feeling. But then we end the show with the main event, Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. Sheamus had a promo before it, hinting that he's going to cash in or, definitely cost Randy Orton the match. So you kind of expected it to happen, and it did. They had a regular match. It was average. It wasn't bad, but if you've seen their other matches, you've seen this one before. Orton hits an RKO on Seth Rollins. Seems like he was going to win, and then Sheamus comes in, pulls him off of Seth Rollins, and then helps Randy Orton win by disqualification. Beats him up, gets in the ring, bro kicks Seth Rollins, cashes in, goes to cash in. But the referee wouldn't accept the briefcase. He just wouldn't. I'm just like, dude, he's cashing in. Accept the briefcase. He was like, I don't know. What should I do? Should I cash in? Yes, cash in. But then the idiot of the situation is Randy Orton, because he has shit for brains apparently. Why would Randy Orton attack Sheamus before the briefcase is cashed in? I would think someone as sinister and vile as Randy Orton would wait until the match started, then get into the ring, and then RKO Sheamus, and then cause a disqualification. That way, making his briefcase null and void, therefore adding more fuel to their feud. But no, Randy Orton decides to wait before he catches in and then RKOs him, which I hate that. I hate that we have to book around a Money in the Bank contractor. Why can't we just make it a part of a storyline? That would have made so much sense if Randy Orton cost them his championship match. Because guess what? Sheamus cost him his championship match. But no, Randy Orton is stupid. So, match was pretty boring, man. I'm sorry. I've seen it before too many times. I didn't think it was all that good. That's just my opinion. And this show, yes, we got some matches announced for SummerSlam, and I appreciate that. It was good seeing Daniel Bryan back. It was good seeing Ryback back. And it was good seeing Stephen Amell. Why am I having trouble? Why can't I say his last name? I keep saying Amell. Stephen Amell. It's good seeing Stephen Amell. It's just right now, they're just having the same show over and over and over and over and over again. And I feel like I've watched this same show for almost a month now. So I'm sorry, I can't say this was a good show because it's just the exact same show with different things changed. So I'm going to give it a D. I'm giving this show a D. And if you feel like it was a C, all power to you. I'm sorry, but I can't. I can't give this show anything above a D. Maybe a D+, but it's still a D. That's just my opinion. Pretty boring show. Let me read your comments on this. I'm pretty sure I have quite a few opinions on this episode of Raw. But You either liked it or you didn't like it. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. Fire Alicia Fox. She can't wrestle. I don't agree with that. I think Alicia Fox can wrestle. And I think with the right gimmick, like her psycho gimmick, she can actually soar and be something very special. But they apparently don't care about her all that much unless she's on Total Divas. Please do the video you are telling the truth about the Bellas. Sure, I'll think about it, man. Not making any promises, but I'll think about it. I didn't think the Miz TV7 was pretty lame. Seemed like a repeat of Elimination Chamber, in my opinion. Glad to see Brian back. Yeah, man, it's good to see Brian back too. Nikki Bella defended the title 7 times, Alyx, man. 7 times. 7 times in almost 300 days. She's not Brock Lesnar, for Christ's sake. Okay? That's not good at all. That's not a shot at Brie. That's not Brie. Nikki. That's not a shot at Nikki or Brie. It's just a shot at the booking of the Divas Championship. That needs to change. Yes, I agree with this statement right here. They should drop the Divas title and reinstate the Women's Championship. Thank you. I'm so embarrassed as a wrestling fan by knowing the fact that there are Bella fanboys white knighting the shit out of Nikki Bella. Crazy. Okay, this guy says Nikki has defended her belt 10 times. She's had 6 on pay-per-view. 6 on pay-per-view? I don't think that can't be right. 6? Okay. Man, all right, if she defended 6 times, then I must have really forgot about her championship reign. It just shows you how forgettable her championship reign is. Someone actually left me a lot of comments. There's a lot of comments here, so I'm going to get through them as many as I can. Thank you for sending my video to WWE. Those of you who tweet my video out, I appreciate that. Thoughts on Taker versus Lesnar? I think it'll be shit. I don't think it'll be bad. I mean, I actually think this is a lot better than what the WrestleMania match was. The WrestleMania 30 match had no hype, no build, and then the match sucked. This one, I think it has, first off, the build is great. The confrontation is great. I think the match will actually be good. So this will be the match that it should have had at WrestleMania, the more I think about it. But I don't think it's that bad. This Raw felt like it was made for the casuals. I think this Raw was bad for casual fans as well. No offense. What do I think about Dean Ambrose turning heel on Roman Reigns? I don't think that's going to happen. It would be nice, but I doubt it would happen, though. Jack for president. Absolutely, man. Jack's an awesome guy. So, I don't know, guys. I kind of feel like... Hold on for a second. Was I talking through 2 microphones this entire time? That's embarrassing. Hello, hello. Wow. I don't know how the sound quality was, guys, but I was talking through my laptop microphone this entire time. I apologize for that. I should have gotten that fixed. Someone gave it a C-. John Cena isn't there, so Vince doesn't care. Yeah, that could be a reason why. I don't know what the deal is, so guys, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off right here. Like I said, nothing much else to talk about Raw. And we're 2 weeks away from SummerSlam. So I hope they get their act together. I really do hope they get their act together because this is ridiculous. But I'll take into consideration about that Divas video. Hopefully, you know, I'll have time to make it because I want it to be good. But I look forward to seeing you guys there. I'll do my best to keep it constructive. I'll do my best to, you know, keep these Raw reviews, live reviews, period, entertaining. Anything else I have to say, I really don't, except for, you know, the usual. Like me on Facebook, subscribe, and if you would like to improve the viewing experience here on Alyx, man, donate to my Patreon, you know. And I think with that said, this is your boy, Deluxe Man signing off. I'll see you guys this Wednesday for my Q&A. It will be 30 minutes long because I couldn't do the Q&A last week, but I'll make this one longer to compensate for that one. So thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys next time. Peace.